Adam lived a total of 930 years. According to the Bible, Adam lived for 930 years before he died. It's not just Adam. Enos lived for 905 years, Noah for 950 years, and Methuselah, who is said to have lived the longest, reached 969 years. In contrast, modern medical advancements can only extend human life to about 120 years. The difference between these ancient biblical figures' lifespans and today's maximum lifespan is vast. If the Bible is considered a historical document by creationists, how did these early humans live for over 900 years? Creation scientists have approached this longevity with scientific hypotheses, and the results are intriguing. Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water. Genesis mentions a vault that divided the waters below from the waters above. If the water below is the ocean, what was the water above? Scientists then virtually recreated the concept of water above the sky. They hypothesized what it would be like if there had been a massive vapor layer or water layer above the atmosphere. Their findings were fascinating. Much of human aging is due to exposure to sunlight. Sunlight includes beneficial microwaves and infrared rays for living organisms, but it also contains harmful ultraviolet rays, X-rays, and gamma rays. If a massive body of water, like an ocean, were to form above the atmosphere, it has been found that the water would allow only the beneficial elements to pass through, while blocking the harmful cosmic radiation. However, the idea of a massive ocean floating above the sky is quite difficult to accept. Thus, scientists suggest that it was likely ice clouds rather than an ocean. Recently, NASA observed a unique natural phenomenon. As the spacecraft pierced through the atmosphere, the exhaust gases it released froze and formed clouds. Remarkably, these ice clouds did not fall to the ground but drifted to polar regions like the Arctic and Antarctic. This phenomenon, known as polar mesospheric clouds, demonstrates that even heavy ice particles can remain suspended in the sky. Could it be that such ice clouds were widespread and thick in the early atmosphere? If ice clouds or a water layer covered the Earth's sky, they would not only block harmful cosmic radiation, but also offer various other benefits. They could maintain a consistent temperature, turning Earth into a perfect incubator for life. This stable environment might have extended to polar regions, making them warmer. Indeed, ancient plant remnants found under polar ice suggest that thriving ecosystems once existed there. This has been cited in academic papers as evidence that ecosystems once thrived in the distant past in the Antarctic or Arctic regions. The concept of ice in the sky can also be found in historical records. We can infer the concept of ice in the sky from the records of the Jewish historian Josephus. The Hebrews believed that in the beginning there was a crystalline vault above the sky. The term crystalline is used to describe the vault in the records of Josephus. The clear and transparent appearance of crystal is very similar to that of ice. What did Josephus mean by a crystalline vault? Was it merely a religious or mythological record? If ice clouds blocked harmful cosmic rays and maintained a stable climate, life on Earth could have had significantly longer lifespans. However, ice clouds had their drawbacks. The biggest issue was that such an environment made it difficult for rain to fall. Rain is essential for plants and animals as a vital nutrient. Scholars, looking for clues about this lack of rain in the Bible, found a relevant passage. God hadn't yet sent rain on Earth, nor was there anyone around to work the ground. There went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. Could the ice clouds have extended human lifespans by hundreds of years? Creationists claim there are numerous other pieces of evidence, including Earth's magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field acts like an umbrella shielding us from the solar wind. The solar wind contains various cosmic rays. If humans were directly exposed to it, they would suffer from severe radiation sickness and long-term health effects, eventually leading to extinction. Research shows that the Earth's magnetic field was much stronger in the past, about 16 times stronger during the time of the Genesis figures, providing significant protection. This could be highly beneficial for living organisms, including humans. Could they have lived such long lives because of these environmental advantages? However, not all biblical figures lived for such extended periods. After the Great Flood, lifespans began to decrease dramatically. Shem lived for 600 years, Eber for 464 years, and then lifespans began to decrease dramatically. Abraham lived for 175 years, Jacob for 147 years, and Joseph for 110 years. These lifespans are significantly shorter compared to the earlier figures in Genesis. Creationists suggest that the ice layer above the earth melted during the Great Flood, removing the environmental benefits. They explain that the ice clouds, which had protected life from harmful elements, disappeared, leading to a gradual decline in human health and lifespan. The immense scale of the Great Flood mentioned in the Bible could be understood if the ice layer that once covered the earth had melted into rain. This would explain the concept of a flood that not only inundated most of the continents, but also caused a global catastrophe. There is also an interesting related research result. Dr. Jeannie Scott of the California National Center for Science Education noted that the amount of coal found on Earth is impossible. She argued that to produce the amount of coal currently found on Earth, there would have needed to be over 100 times more plants than exist today, covering 80% of the Earth's surface. Currently, 30% of the Earth's surface is land and 70% is water. If Dr. Jean Scott's assertion is correct, then where did the remaining 50% of land go? This question suggests the possibility of a global flood in the distant past. In other words, the current Earth is in a post-flood state, with much of it submerged. If plants had once covered approximately 80% of the Earth's surface, this would have directly or indirectly contributed to longer lifespans, as abundant oxygen provides high healing power for living organisms. Summarizing, the early Earth's environment can be hypothesized as follows. Massive ice clouds protecting Earth from cosmic radiation. Stable temperatures creating a perfect incubator for life. 80% of the Earth's surface covered with 100 times more vegetation, producing abundant oxygen. Increased natural healing and recovery due to high oxygen levels. A magnetic field 16 times stronger than today's, shielding against the solar wind. Could humans in such an environment really live over 900 years? And did the Great Flood mark the collapse of this ecosystem, leading to the gradual physical and lifespan decline of humanity? While these ideas are difficult to accept from an evolutionary standpoint, if creationism is considered a theory, the scientific evidence suggesting that the figures in Genesis lived over 900 years and that the decline in lifespans coincided with the Great Flood, supported by biblical passages and ancient records, makes it indeed a fascinating hypothesis. In 2013, Dr. Pankaj Kapahi's team at the Buck Institute successfully extended the lifespan of nematodes, a type of roundworm, by altering their genetic pathways, achieving a 5-fold increase in their lifespan. Dr. Kapahi mentioned that although the experiment is still in its early stages, he hopes it could eventually be applied to humans. If successful, this could potentially lead to humans living up to 500 years. Although the Earth's power has significantly diminished compared to the past, humans continue to strive to break through these substantial limits using advanced technology. Perhaps the quest for extending our lifespan is driven by an inherent desire to reclaim a lost past. This was Mystic Shadows.